What is going on, everybody? Giant Forehead here, aka Jake the Bills fan, and it feels like it's been a little bit since I've talked to you guys, but really it's just because I had an episode of the Jordan Hour come out, and then I had a Bills meme come out for the first time in a very long time. Thank you to anybody who watched those videos. But today we are going to be talking about positions throughout the Buffalo Bills that I think may need some improvement. And today we are going to be talking about the backup quarterback position. Now, as you've seen by the title of the video already, we're going to be talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick in this narrative that Bills fans want Ryan Fitzpatrick back as a backup for Josh Allen on the Buffalo Bills. And I couldn't be more for this, but the question really is, can the Buffalo Bills bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick? Now, that's a big question because, as you guys know, Ryan Fitzpatrick was with the Miami Dolphins. He actually made a sizable amount of money on the Miami Dolphins. I believe it's around $11 million is what his deal was worth for 2 years. And, that's a lot of money, especially for someone that you're thinking about bringing in as a backup and somebody who's already stated that they do want to play in the NFL this season. Now, there were reports that came out that said he wanted to retire because his market was, dried up. And then there's also reports coming out that say, no, the market is not dried up, which I do believe it's not for Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think there's plenty of teams out there that are needing a stopgap quarterback that has the skills that Ryan Fitzpatrick has. So can the Buffalo Bills bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick? I think so. I think that Ryan Fitzpatrick coming to the Buffalo Bills is not as far-fetched as a lot of people think it is. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick value isn't as high as a lot of people think it is. I know he has these years in Miami where he's been fairly decent and not the worst quarterback in the world and seems to be somewhat more of an aged gunslinger more than he is just a normal gunslinger. But in all honesty, I think that the market for Ryan Fitzpatrick is not as high as people think it is because of the name behind it. Ryan Fitzpatrick is a known journeyman. That is true, but there's a reason why the Miami Dolphins aren't going to bring him back because, he's going to command a lot of money. And, if you look at the past, Ryan Fitzpatrick has taken deals that are like entry level $3 million deals where, we're paying Matt Barkley $2 million a year to basically sit on the bench and do nothing. And honestly, if Matt Barkley comes in, pretty much every Bills fan is shitting their pants because Matt Barkley is probably not going to get the job done. We've seen it. He has a body of work. We know the body of work. He had one good game against the Jets and one bad game against the Jets and one awful snap against the Chargers this year. It's legitimately Matt Barkley is not the answer. And I know they keep him around for culture state and like all of that stuff. But, if he's a culture guy, that's fine. But I don't care about culture when it comes to the skill of a player. If the player is a culture guy, but he sucks, I don't want him on there. There's plenty of culture guys out there that'll fit that little scheme that they have in the locker room that will be able to be serviceable guys if Josh Allen were to, God forbid, go down. And that is why I think bringing Ryan Fitzpatrick in is he's shown that he is a culture guy. He knows his role when he gets brought into a place. When he was in Miami, they kind of pulled the rug out from under him and all that, but he still played the role as the backup quarterback behind Tua because he understood that Tua was the guy they drafted and eventually was going to replace him anyways. So Ryan Fitzpatrick coming in, he is a culture guy. Now, there's plenty of other names out there, too, you could throw around. You can throw up Blake Bortles. Mitchell Trubisky's probably going to be available this offseason. But I want to put my chips in to the Ryan Fitzpatrick basket because I think not only is it a great story, I understand that it's a great story, but that's not the reason why I want Ryan Fitzpatrick on the Buffalo Bills. It is very nice that we do have a history with Ryan Fitzpatrick and that we were an organization that gave him a chance. But also with that, when you want a guy behind Josh Allen, if Josh Allen were to go down again, God forbid, during the season, if you put that weight on Matt Barkley's shoulders, you're probably not making the playoffs if Josh Allen goes down week 4. But if Josh Allen goes down week 4 and you've got Ryan Fitzpatrick behind him, Ryan Fitzpatrick has shown that he still has gas in the tank and he can still go out there and win football games. Hell, in Miami, he was the relief pitcher of the backup quarterback position, where basically when Tua went out there and stunk, but the game was still winnable, that they would throw Ryan Fitzpatrick in to win that damn game. While it doesn't always work, you definitely have a better shot of winning with Fitzpatrick in there. So if they're able to bring Fitzpatrick in for maybe $1 million more than they would pay Matt Barkley, if that well has dried up and nobody wants Ryan Fitzpatrick or all the deals are the same, would Ryan Fitzpatrick possibly go somewhere where he's going to be the starter? Yeah, but would he go somewhere where he would also be able to contend for a championship, to which he does not have one? Maybe he'd do that too. Maybe he would come back to Buffalo for that reason and be that stand-in behind Josh Allen, which, don't get me wrong, Josh Allen can learn from Ryan Fitzpatrick, even though he doesn't really need to. It would still help to have a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick behind Josh Allen, and also maybe to have in that quarterback room with that big brain with Josh Allen, but also with a guy like Jake Fromm, who would eventually probably take over the position as the backup quarterback. So that's my stance on Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick would be a good culture fit. I think it would be better skill-wise in the backup position, and you could probably find a way to get him in at around the same price or just a little bit more than Matt Barkley, and you get a huge upgrade. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Ryan Fitzpatrick is a bad choice? Do you think it's a good choice? Let me know down below in the comments section. I will read all the comments and let's have a conversation down there. I'd like to see what Bills Mafia thinks about Ryan Fitzpatrick coming back to the Buffalo Bills for not only a good story, but also a really good reason and upgrade at the backup quarterback position. I've been Jake, aka Jake the Bills fan, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.